I got all this in the mail on the same day. And then I also picked up this on the same day. Um, what did I get? Well, I can tell you it's all comics, and I can also tell you that one of these books that I got, I swore to myself that I'd never pay 20 bucks for it. What did I pay? Well, let's take a look, see what the haul is. Let's talk comics. Okay, so we're back. Opened up the first package. These are new books. So I got a small delivery of new books. These are in no particular order. I guess it's small because I get my books from DCBS, Discount Comic Book Service, and I guess with the trouble that Diamond's been having with their bankruptcy, um, is affecting, it is affecting the comic flow all over the place. So, but anyway, in no particular order, uh, we got Geiger number 10. That's the Action Comics 1 homage. I'm enjoying Geiger. Yeah, it's okay. I think it's a little slow, but I'm interested enough to see where it's going to go. So I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how long I last with it. Hopefully something, I mean, I'm sure Jeff Johns has a plan. I'm just waiting for something to like change the uh, the the story, change the plan of the story, because usually you got to go so far and then something changes within the story, and now you're on new arc, and that's what I'm waiting for. Um, Amazing Spider-Man 65. That's the Scotty Young variant. Um, this is part of the 8 Deaths of Spider-Man storyline. I think I've read the first 2 parts. Not really crazy about the story. Again, Spider-Man is more, to me, he's more of a street hero, and taking on his rogues gallery. He's not really a magic type hero. He really shouldn't be in magical stories. I get every so often you have to change it, and apparently Scotty Young is, you know, a big thing now. I've never really seen the appeal of Scotty Young myself. I'm more traditional art, but if I ever wanted to resell it, I guess I could resell it easy with a Scotty Young cover. I don't know. Hopefully the story will pick up. I decided to get a DC book, the New Gods book that's coming out. I like the covers. It looks pretty interesting. I have not read issue 1 yet, but this is issue 2. So it's Ram V. I like Ram V's writing, so I'll have to check that out, and we'll see. We'll see. How it is. But I'm in it. I'm going to get the whole. Apparently, it's only what? It's 12 issues. I'm going to get all 12, whether I like it or not. So we'll see. Space Ghost number 9. These Warner Brothers books that Dynamite is putting out are incredible, and they're great. And Space Ghost is a great book. If you have not picked up Space Ghost, if you know nothing about Space Ghost, definitely pick this book up from Dynamite. David Pepose, John Lau, terrific stories, terrific art. I mean, Dynamite's killing it with these properties. Space Ghost, they're doing Herculoids. I'm getting that. They got all the Disney villain stuff they're putting out. So yeah, it's some good stuff. Oh, and here we go. There's another Spider-Man, 8 Deaths of Spider-Man, number 66. Spidey Black Cat kissing. That's a good cover. I like that cover. G.I. Joe #3. Read the first issue of the new G.I. Joe by Josh Williamson. I did like it. I love G.I. Joe, so just starting getting back into it. And then here's the other the Larry Hama G.I. Joe. Here's 313. So I mean that's it for the new books. Let's open up the next package and see what we got. Okay, this next book is actually it's a Kickstarter book, Beyond the Stars. Good science fiction from Silverline by Ron Fortier and Andrea Bormida. Good science fiction. It's a good story. It's strong. I'm loving it. You know, I love science fiction. I like to read a good science fiction book, and yeah, this is one of the better ones. I think there's one more issue. Issue 5. I think it will conclude the story. But yeah, so far I'm liking it. Okay, well, I mean, again, new books. I think we got some eBay hauls coming up next. Let's see what we got. Okay, so this next book is an eBay purchase, and it is Power Comics #2 from Power Comics, right? I want these books. I want to get, because I love this character, Cobalt Blue, created by Mike Gustovich. I love the costume. I don't know. There's just something about this character I love. It's his stories are definitely mid, very mid. But I think, I don't know. There's something about this character. I think you could take this character and really go somewhere with it. This was on eBay. I had one on eBay that I was watching, and I should have bought it a long time ago. The price, kept going up, and it was up to like $6. And I'm like, wow, I'm wondering, if there's another copy that I can get on here for cheaper than $6. So I looked around and I came across this, and the guy wanted $4 or best offer. He said on his thing that it was high grade, but definitely if you look at the pictures, it's definitely not high grade. You got a chip here, you got some stuff here, some chips out of the cover up here. You got a tear down here. So yeah, it's definitely not high grade. This is definitely like a printed on like a newsprint type paper, even the whole thing, even the cover. So it's an indie book from 1977, I believe. Yep, 1977. So yeah, you got some. So it's definitely an old book. It definitely looks old. It's definitely not high grade. So he wanted $4 for it. I countered $2. He countered my $2 with a $3 offer. And then I countered again for $2.50, and I just sent a message saying, hey, from what I'm seeing in the pictures, this book isn't high grade. I don't want to come off as being a jackass or anything, but don't sell something and say, hey, this is high grade. I mean, it's not high grade. It's high grade because it's a 48-year-old book, almost 50 years old. And it is decent. I mean, it's not, the spine is decent, but I mean, with the chips and everything out of the cover, it's definitely not a high grade. I mean, he could have put, I mean, I would say it's a fine with all the chips taken out. It's definitely a fine, which is more mid, not high grade. But yeah, I wanted it. I want to try to get the Power Comic. I want to try to get every appearance of Cobalt Blue. I do have a bunch of them. I have almost all of the Cobalt Blue appearances. Who's this cover by? Tom Phillips. Don't know the name, but yeah, I mean, so I got it for $2.50 plus whatever he charged, $5 shipping, which is about right. So yeah, so let's move on to the next eBay. Okay, so before we get to the last book, which is the eBay book, which is the one that I said I would never pay $20 for, and we're going to see what I paid for it. I went to the comic book store that same day, and I picked up a bunch of books. Now, all of these books, they have in bins, and they're marked. You can get 6 books for $5 or 13 books for $10. So I got 13 books, so that's what, 80 cents a piece, I guess, or thereabouts. So, and again, in no particular order, we're going to see what we got. I got Spoof Comics Super Babe. That's an Adam Hughes cover. Again, people are going gaga for Adam Hughes. They're going crazy, and you know, I mean, it's a decent comics, decent looking comic. You know, in less than $1 bin, Adam Hughes cover. Yeah, yeah, I'll take that. And I don't think I have this one. I have a bunch of spoof comics. Actually, I I used to write for Spoof Comics, so that's why I have a bunch. Air Raiders #2. I have issue 1. I also got that in the same bin. This one, it's a little beat up on the spine, but that's fine. I'm okay with that. Let's see. Green Lantern '98. Again, I know in another video, I said I wanted to try to re-get most of this run, especially the earlier issues. Not a big Kyle Rayner fan, but if I can get them for less than $1 a piece, then I'm okay with that. There's 98, there's 99, which is part 2 of 2 of Future Shock. They did have issue 100 in the bin. It was kind of beat up, but we'll see. Maybe I'll go back and get 100. Again, Green Lantern #0, the 0 issue, which I don't have that. Keep going on. Green Lantern #3, Dawn of DC. I think this is the. Is this the most current run of Green Lantern? It might be. And then I picked up this because it's Liam Sharp, Grant Morrison, variant cover, Green Lantern season 2, #2. I love the cover, you know, and it's Liam Sharp. I like Liam Sharp's artwork, so I figured I'd pick it up. Why not, right? Issue 1 of Universal Monsters Dracula, the new stuff that just came out from Image. I did not pick up Dracula. I picked up all the other Universal monsters. I did not pick up Dracula. I don't know why. I think it caught me off guard when they started publishing them. And I've liked the other ones. I picked up the other ones. I just finished reading Frankenstein. Really liked Frankenstein. If you like Universal monsters, and if you like Frankenstein and you have not picked up that book, definitely pick it up. I really enjoyed it. And you won't go wrong. This was in the bin. Free Comic Book Day, Amazing Spider-Man. This is part of the Nick Spencer run, which I don't really have a lot of those issues, the Nick Spencer issues. So this was part of it, Free Comic Book Day issue, and I was like, yeah, why not? I also found 63 in there. I see Tombstone again, any Spider-Man book less than $1. This one's not bad. It's got a couple of spine ticks, but I'm fine with it. Quasar 39. I have 38. I do not have 39. Also trying to get this run. Is this still Greg Capullo? No, this is Steve Lytle. Wow. I like Steve Lytle's art. So found a Deathlock #1 in there. This one's in really nice shape, which is why I picked it up. This is after that 4-issue Dennis Cowan art, Mike Manley inks. Very nice. Yeah, this is part of that after they did the reboot of Deathlock, the 4 oversized issues, which I have. I don't know if I have this #1. I'll have to look. I might. And then this is Gen 13 #4. This is the first miniseries of Gen 13. I have a couple of issues. Again, I'm trying to, because I never picked this stuff up when it came out. So now that you can get them for $1 or under $1, I was like, well, let's figure out, let's see if any of this stuff is any good. So I'm trying to Gen 13, Stormwatch, Cyberforce, all of those books I'm getting and gonna read and see if they're any good. So yeah, that's what I got. I got these 13 books for $10, less than $1 a book. Like I said, 80 cents. And we're gonna go now to the last book, and let's see what it is. Okay, well, we got it open. Yeah, both my eBay purchases, and I know I've heard many a horror story about eBayers selling comics who don't really know comics. They put them in bubble mailers, or they just throw it in a plastic bag and mail it out that way or whatever. I've never, for the most part, I've never really had a problem with eBay. Even though both of these books came in bubble mailers, the Power Comics was sandwiched in between cardboard, so that's really what you should do. So I have no issues there. And now for this book, and I'm just going to show it. It's Crystar #8. This book also came in a bubble mailer, and it was kind of sandwiched between cardboard. They sandwiched it in this priority mail box. I guess they didn't have cardboard, so they just used this box to sandwich it in. At any rate, this is definitely a mid-grade copy, which is fine. I know if you find near mint copies on eBay, they're going for $30, sometimes 40. It depends. If it's really high grade, people are crazy paying that much for it. And honestly, I don't even think this book is worth $20. And it's only worth so much because Glenn Danzig pirated this skull here. I mean, I don't know if he pirated it. I highly doubt he got permission to put it on a shirt, and he wore it in a concert, so people lost their minds. And now, this is the reference. This is actually the last issue I needed to complete my run of Crystar, so I now have a complete run of Crystar. They had Michael Golden covers. Of course, as you can see, it's a newsstand also. Now you got to remember, and I know people are going to lose their mind. Oh my God, it's a newsstand. You got to remember, this is 1984 when this book came out. And what people don't know or realize, especially newer collectors, if you're a newer collector, you got to think about this, is that back in 1984, the direct market hadn't really taken off yet, hadn't really been as prevalent as it is now. It was still in transition. So you actually had more newsstand books in 1984 than you did direct copies from the direct market. But because you don't have any newsstand or very few newsstand copies today, everyone wants newsstand copies of stuff, and they're just paying ridiculous amounts of money. To me, the direct version of this book should be worth more than the newsstand, but I mean, this is where we're at. People are just going gagas over newsstands, and if you can get a newsstand in high grade, then people are just gonna go crazy over it. Yeah, I mean, you got spine issues here. It's a little bit of a raised spine. You got some stuff up top here. It's not a smooth cover. You got some light wrinkles here. I mean, some of this stuff could be pressed out if you press it. You got some dirt. As you can see, it's but I'm fine. It's complete. I'm fine. The funny thing is that when I bought this book off the stand when it came out, and I stopped at issue 7 because I'm just not a big fantasy guy, and this is essentially a fantasy book. But I'm telling you, I looked through it. The art it's really good art. You got Villamonte, you got Brett Blevins. It's really good art, and the characters are pretty cool, even though it's based on a toy. But anyway, yeah, I stopped at issue 7, wound up getting issues 9, 10, and 2 copies of 11. Let's see, 9 and 10 I got for $1 each, and 11 I got for $2 each. And they're all, the one copy of 11 is better condition than the other copy. The other copy is definitely like mid to low mid grade. The other 11 is like mid to high, and the 9 and 10 are mid grade. They're not, they're not high grade stuff. But I have them, and now I have issue 8, and that completes my run of Crystar. So, and that's what I'm doing now. I'm just trying to complete runs. So what did I pay for it, right? I said I would never pay $20 for this book because I didn't think it was worth it. Obviously, this is not a high grade copy. So I paid $14.50 for the book, which in the condition it's in, I looked on eBay. It's basically what books in this condition are going for. It's about $14. Wasn't sure if I was going to get it. The book started at 99 cents starting bid. And I was keeping an eye on it. And then it got stuck at like, what was it, 550, I think? I think it was 550 it got stuck at. And it got down to the end, and I was like, well, what do I want to, what's the most I want to pay for this book? And I think I said, okay. And I put like $15.50. And it was going down to the end, and I was watching it, and all of a sudden, like 30 seconds left, and you could see it all of a sudden go up to $8.50, $10.50, $12.50. It was just, and I think if they didn't start so late, then it went to 14. No, I saw go to $14.50. And I think if there was more time on the clock, somebody would have outbid me for this book. They would have paid 16, $18 for this book for sure. But they ran out of time, and I got it for $14.50. So I did not pay $20 for this book. I paid $14.50, but with shipping and tax, it came out to $20. So did I pay 20 for it? Yeah, I kind of did. But the book itself, I only paid $14.50. So I don't know. It depends on how you look at it. There's no way. The only way I would have gotten this book for cheaper is to get a really ragged reader copy. And, I mean, I don't need stuff in near mint condition, but I also want like decent stuff too. I want a decent, and I can't see, I don't know. I can't see the value on this book lasting. I just really can't. I mean, it is lasting, right? When did Danzig wear that shirt? Like 10 years ago now, right? So maybe it will retain its value. And then, you know, as it gets older, I mean, this is a 40-year-old book now. Believe it or not, it's 40 years old. And as it gets older, I guess all the books are just going to increase in value. And I'm kind of surprised that nobody has, you know, especially Dynamite. I'm surprised nobody has redone this book, especially Dynamite Comics. Um, I'm just shocked that nobody's taken a second stab at Crystar, the Crystal Warrior. But yeah, I mean, so that's it. That's my haul for everything. My eBay stuff, my new stuff that I got. You know, my Kickstarter book that I got. I got that. I got that. So yeah, I'm happy with it. And hey, thanks for watching. And we'll see you at the next video. And we'll also see you in the funny pages. Thanks. Hey everyone. Thanks for sticking around to the end of the video. You guys are the best, and I truly appreciate you. Just a side note, I not only talk about comics and collect comics and review comics and love comics, I also make comics. And these are some of the comics that I've made. And if you're interested in them, there's a wide variety of genres. You can go to www.goodideascomics.com, as you can see in the banner, and you can order them there. Or if you don't want to order them from a website, I can understand that. You can email me at goodideascomics@gmail.com, and we'll hook you up with some of this great stuff. Indie books are the best, and you guys are the best. Thank you very much. See you in the funny pages.